Alright, legends, and welcome to this episode of FM22 Tips and Tricks. I'm going to show you 6 ways I use that help Football Manager. No ends barred. That's what it does. Out of these 6, I use, maybe you could use these as well. Very good tips and tricks. Right then, let's jump into it. Wow, with our first one then, is going to be sorting out columns. Do you want your Football Manager layout of your squad like this, where you can see, their age, where they're from, their name, what position they play, their conditioning, their morale, happiness, ability, their potential ability, then the best thing of all, right at the end, their media description, what they're known as, like, an elite centre-back, obviously, for Van Dijk. And you could have ones coming up saying, wonder kid, world class, look. And it helps a lot for you to know which players. So if I go into the under, wherever it is, in here, think it's on here as well. I'm not sure if I've set it up. Now, I haven't reset it up there, but if you bring one player in, put him into there, it'll say, that they are a wonder kid or whatever. Oh, yeah, there we go. Curtis Jones, look, and it says he is a wonder kid. So, easier way to find your wonder kids if you set it up like this. Right, and this is what you do. All you do, go here, where the mouse is, right here. Right click, go to Customize Current View. As you can see, these are all the ones I've got in. But if you want those, just pause the video and have a look at what I'm using there. And I'll show you how to make it look better in a moment. But you can go here. If you want, set it by club. You got where they're based, what club they're at, division they're in, coaching, all tactical positions, abilities. See, look, and it's just so easy to what you look for. If you get a squad look, instructions, happiness, whether, their playing time they like, which you can see it there then, you've got to give them more playing time. Anything like that is a very, very good idea to do this. And then, because it looks a bit stretched out, all you do is right-click there again and press Auto Size All Columns. Boom. Spreads it out. And then Auto Size the whole column. It just pushes it all in and amalgamates it in, because there you've got roll ability I've added as well, or else to squeeze it all right down, and position selected in, how good they are playing in that position you've put them in on your tactic. Right then, that was number 1, sorting out your columns. Right, the second one then is mentoring. How to add your youth players into your first team training without having to, put them all the way in the first team and not give them that game time they deserve. What you do is go to your dev center, go to your under 20s, 23s, or under 18s, whichever you want to do. Just say, Ibrahima Konate, yeah? He's in the under 23s. Without me moving him to the first team to get into those mentoring, this is what you do. So let's say Ibrahima Konate, and is there any other good one here? Also, I might have to go. Let's have a look in the under 18s. No, right. Not very many top potential at Liverpool, is there? So we'll do. Where are we? God, brain's gone. Right, we'll do Konate, who is a centre-back, and we'll do Billy Comatio, who's a centre-back, 18 and 22-year-olds. So what you do is you go to press training, go to units, not mentoring yet, and you go to here, add or remove your under 23s, defenders, where they were. So you got Konate, then you add again whoever else you want to add in, which I did say Billy Comatio, yeah? And then you go to mentoring. Don't set it up yourself. Just press ask assistant to assign. And there you go. Billy Cumatio and Kanate are training with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson from the first team. And if you look, Billy Cumatino, he's going to get significant training because he's 18. Kanate, probably because he's 22, getting light training, but he's still going to learn. And that is a very good way to, get your youth players training with your first team players and getting that knowledge, especially off Jordan Henderson. Going to pick up a lot of good things off him. So with yours, and what you can do, you can always add someone else in there. Like, so if you wanted to go and add, I don't know, for that group with Henderson, defenders or central midfielders, I don't know, you could go and add, what was the young one? I mean, you could even add Harley Elliott there. You can add him straight in. Going to learn significantly well off Henderson. So all of these stats on Henderson, all his high stats like first touch, concentration, composure, bravery, anticipation, those could be transferred over to your youth players that you've put in there and just make you have an amazing player. That is a good way how to set up your mentoring groups, without having to put your under 18s or under 23 players straight into the team. That was tip number 2. Right, next up, buying players for cheaper, than you want to. This is the best way. Everybody knows this, but this is the way you do it. So wherever you want to buy a player from, I don't know, we just go world, list, Real Madrid, just for hence of this, players. Right. Now, because as I've got it set up, look, I can even see how much the players are worth, which, really, really good. Right. Just go. Up for sale. Oh, no, not for a player that's up for sale. That's it. Mariano. He's not up for sale, is he? Maybe he is. Marco Asensio. So if we go to buy him, it says here Marco Asensio is worth 23 to 29. So you go make an offer. It's on 23. No, try someone else. He's just accepted that, just God knows why. Rodrigo. Here we go. So Rodrigo, it says 4-5, and that's what you're going to get him for because that's his minimum release. He's no good to try it on. Casemiro. This should be better. Right, 74. Press that. They want 74 plus after league appearances. And that is a good thing to do. Always go here. You press add. After league appearances, do it about 40 to 50 games. And it says 14 there. You just keep dropping it. But up in that. The good thing about that is, if they don't play the 50 games, you don't have to pay this extra money. It is an amazing thing to do. So if we say, oh no, we're giving 40. Boom, you say that. And they've come up and said, we want 93 plus 17. But normally you press that and it comes up and says, no, 50. So what you do is you keep upping the one with it says for the 50 games until they say yes. So you've paid somewhat £40 million for a £70 million player with possibly over 100 million in after 50 league appearances. But if he doesn't play those 50, you're getting him for just £40 million. That is a really, really good tip. I use it all the time to get players on the cheap. And then, when you don't want that player, you sell them for double because you've got those on the cheap. And it is an amazing way to do it. Trust me. Go try it out. See if it works for you. Right, next up then is if you want to see who the top goal scorers are in the league or the top assists, the clean sheets, or, the rules in your league or where your chairman thinks you should finish this season and stuff like that. All you do for this, some people may know this, but not a lot. Go to competitions, which bring you up to this screen. Click where it says English Premier Division. There you go, or whatever division you're playing as. Could be Scottish or whatever. It brings you straight to this list. Look, top goal scorers. So you click that, and it bring you who's in first place in that. Assists, yellow cards, clean sheets, player of the matches, league tables, who you've got next, all of that lovely stuff. And if you go to here, you can go to sponsorship income to see who's getting the most sponsorship in the whole league. Who's got the biggest stadium? What sort of grass they're using, synthetic or normal? Structure, which gives you a little thing, how many clubs in the league. The rules, if you couldn't remember what the rules are of your division, you can always go and recheck, like here, top 4 get into the big cup and all that. For winning the Champions League, £38 million. Not a kick-up, is it? It's not bad. Past positions where you finished in the league before, stages, and main of all, season profile. Like, because I'm doing it with Liverpool, this to show you, it's saying Liverpool, should be finishing at least second, or else you could possibly get the sack. If you think your team is really good, and really they're a relegation candidate team, and it says, they think you're going to finish around about 19th, and you tell the team we're going to win the league, if you don't get straight up by the top 10 or something by the end of the season, you are possibly getting the sack. Always check this out. It is a very good indicator to where the board and chairman think you should be finishing in the league. That was, looking where you are and the top goal scorers and all that in the league. Right then, next up, the easiest way to scout players without having to wait a couple of months before, your staff come back to you, your scouts, and tell you actually how good they are. This is the easiest way. It's the way I always do it to find players from top teams or from any single league. Doesn't work with every single league. Don't think you can do it if you want to go and check the German national team and stuff like that. But this is a good way to find your players. They won't be fully scouted, but you're going to get all of their places where they play in, if they're wingers, inverted wing backs, or and all their stats. This is how you do it. So you come up here, just go to World or wherever you want to go and look at list, or just pick a certain team you want. I don't know, just say Paris Saint-Germain. So what you do is right click there, get a team report, boom. You go here, next, and it should come up within, not long actually. It hasn't come up yet. Just skip that off. Maybe I have to attend that while we just end. And it should come up within 1 to 2 days, 3 at the most. All it normally does. So there we go. I've had Bayern Munich's come up because I've done those as well. So it says Bayern Munich, all their players, their weaknesses. So then what you do is click here, Bayern Munich, or click there. Click their players. Now, when you click on a player now, you're going to have a scout report that player. Robert Lewandowski. There you go. Look, it tells you everything. 5-starred, 5-starred. Reputation worldwide. Shows all where he's playing. If you go to reports, you might have to do a scout report just to see where he fits in your team. But it is actually showing how good the player is already because you've got a team report of him. And I mean, that'll be of every single player that comes up. Thomas Muller. 4-star rated, look. Otherwise, it doesn't come up and tell you. So, get a quick team report. You know how decent that player is. What role he likes playing in. Because look, you can change and go to there. It'll tell you. If he was in a striker, it'd tell you. Because if you go to a normal team that has not been scouted, I will show you. So if we go here, world list, AC Milan, just to say, players, Frank Kessie. See, look, current ability unknown, potential unknown. Only might tell you just one thing, but obviously he can play in different places. Not saying all the roles, scout player and stuff. Look, that is a really good way to scout players without fully scouting them and get it back within 2 days of waiting. Then if you a little bit more intrigued, then you scout them, or you can just buy them straight away and they will be as good as what it says there. You just don't know how much better than your players. That is all. But then you can always re-scout them, like I said. Well, that was easiest way to scout players that possibly you didn't know. Right then, last on the list today is how to find all good youth intake players. Obviously, you're going to have to wait if you're doing it from the start of the season. If you're not doing it from the start of the season, you're still going to already have intake players up there. But if you're from the start of the season, like this is, you have to wait till intake day, yeah? And the best way to find them is click here, click world, go over, click transfers. Where it says all transfers there, click that, youth intake, and you're going to have a list of all of the ones that were done on the youth intake day that you see. Scout a bunch of them. You can normally scout about 30 players at a time. Till your heart's content, pick up cheap Wonder Kids. Easiest way I've known to do it. Wonder Kids, all really, really decent 15 to 16 to 17-year-old players. Whack them straight into your team on the cheap. I have done it many of time and had some brilliant players. Like I said, look, you can look on here. You can get youth departures, ones that have already left. You want to look at the youth intake, though, because they're better players, not the ones they get rid of. Future transfers, wave transfers, park exchange. If you want to look at release players, click release. Every single player from around the world that has been released, vroom, straight down here for you. Look at all of them to your heart's content. People have been picked up on free transfers, trades, everything. Really good tips and tricks video today. Very proud of these that I've found. Hope you enjoy them. Hope you implement these into your saves. It's going to make you a better Football Manager player. That is for sure. Right, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you will, subscribe. And I'll do plenty more of these tips, tricks, Wonder Kid videos, teams to manage. Plus, obviously, the journeyman and stuff like that as well. But if you want to see more, let me know down in the comments. Click that like button. Many likes as you can so I know you really enjoy this video. And click the bell so you can see more. Guys, catch you in the next video.